Hi everybody, Graham here with the latest updates from We Share Abundance. We Share Abundance is a cloud nation. We're an emerging nation with the United States of the world. We're on a mission to banish poverty. We've been around a little over 5 years, putting in solid foundations to be here for many generations to come. You know, most websites don't last a year, let alone 5 years, and we're only just beginning. Okay. We are now expanding our economy, and that should improve the liquidity and value of our currency and benefit all our citizens because they all hold our currency. We give it to them free every month. The great thing is you can become a citizen. Anybody can become a citizen. There's no fee, no obligation. You just come along and register, and that's it. We are also a non-separatist organization, so we don't put you into a little group based on where you come from, what your gender is, what you look like, or anything else. We simply see everybody as a human being, part of one big family of humanity, all individually unique, all having something unique to offer, all of equal value. We have a little affirmation in a moment that helps us with that ideology. But first, we'll have our opening prayer, a very short prayer to help us find true happiness in life. An everlasting, ever new joy within, not short-term pleasure followed by depression. And, you know, you've been through the ups and downs of the routine. No, we're talking about a peace of mind that is always with you. It's something you can't buy. You can only get it through loving service to others. The great thing about this is that the more you go about that as your way of life, being of loving service to others, you'll find that everything else that you want and need in life will be attracted to you. You no longer have to go out chasing after money to get this and that and try and fit these things into your time schedule. It'll all start working for you perfectly. The more you go about life, just simply being of loving service to all those that cross your path. Okay, so that's the way we get started every evening. We have these sessions every day, and they're all recorded because we know that not everybody can be here at 7 p.m. London time. It's simply not convenient for everybody. So they're there and you can check on what's been going on and what's happening. The recordings are in YouTube and in our Facebook group. We Share Abundance publicly. There are lots of We Share Abundance groups out there. The only one that you want to be bothered with is We Share Abundance publicly, okay? You can ignore all the rest. Right. So welcome to you, whether you are watching live or whether you are watching the recording. The great thing about being on the live event, of course, is that you can pop in your name and where you're from in the chat and ask any questions, interact with other members. So it's a much more effective way of getting the updates and getting any questions answered. But you're equally welcome whether you're on the live or on watching the recordings. So let's get started now with that little prayer and affirmation, and then we'll jump into the business of the day. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so happy and grateful for you, and we ask that you bless the We Share Abundance community, that it may fill each member's heart with unconditional love. And through that love, bless each member that they may find the joy of service, and through service, attract true happiness and everything they want and need into their life. Amen. And our little affirmation, we're so happy and grateful to be citizens of the United States of the world with God and truth as our leaders. Heavenly Father, may thy kingdom of peace come into our world as it is in heaven, and free us all from divisive inharmony, that we may become perfect citizens in body, mind, and soul of thy world. Okay, let's see who we've got in. We've got Lewis in from Lisbon in Portugal. We've got Peter in from the Cameroon, Africa. We've got Ramachandra from Watford in England. We've got Orin from Monrovia. He's put it in there for me today because I forgot where he was from yesterday. My apologies. We've got Erikin from Gatineau, Quebec in Canada. We've got Nankiapin from Nigeria. Bozina from Edinburgh up in Scotland. We've got Kim from Cork in Ireland. And we've got Maya from Hampshire in England. And no doubt there'll be a few people popping in, and they'll get here just as we're going, okay? Because we try and get through things as quickly as we can, as completely as we can, but as quickly as we can, so that you can get out and enjoy the rest of your day doing whatever it is you want to be doing. Right, let me give you some numbers for a start so I don't forget them. Need the old specs. We had an increase of just 1 in the 777 plan to 44,971. We have an increase of 60 in our registered members to 52,633. An increase of 77 in our active members to 3,727. No change in our ShareHope Pro members. It's still at 813. The Easy Team Builder, 1 new member, taking us to 1,039, and no change in the Success Blueprint, staying at 67. So there we go. Remember to do those. Right. Unfortunately, Fun Miracles still haven't got our website sorted out properly, and it's in the test site, but once we agree that test site, they're going to put it into a live site, and we don't want it in a live site when it's not working right. So we've gone back to them again, and it's just unfortunate that developers do what they think you want instead of listening to what you want. And that is why we're so blessed to have Devyani and Vishal, who actually take the time to understand what's needed and then implement it. So we're not far off with getting the Fun Miracles site available to be tested by our members. We want to check that we're going through all the levels correctly. And I just want to get that email out to people saying, hey, go here and check and do this and do that. And we just want to see people going through the levels and see how it all works and make sure it's working as it should. But we can't do it until they fix it. So they promised now that it will be fixed by tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be able to get on that tomorrow. Now, one other thing, I will be sending out a message. I'd hoping to get to it today, but I just ran out of time. And that is everybody that has shares in the Fun Miracles, which is a limited company. I want you to send in, and I'll probably create a form for you so that we can download it onto a spreadsheet and check it against our records. We want to make sure nobody's missing because there were hiccups on a couple of occasions. Some people paid and didn't put in a form initially, and so they never got issued with share certificates, and we think we've found them all now, but I want to make sure that everybody is in, got the right numbers. So you will be requested to put in your share certificate number and the number of shares that you hold. If you don't have a share certificate, we will need the date that you paid and the amount of the payment. So those are the things we'll be sending out tomorrow. I'll be creating the form and getting it out to you tomorrow. We want to get that reconciled with our records to make sure that nobody misses out, because we're going to be launching this pretty soon. And every time somebody plays a paid game on in the website, every shareholder gets paid, and we've got to set it up, and we don't want to be missing any of the shareholders, and we want to make sure that, you know, if you bought 10 shares, you've got 10 shares in the system. We don't want anybody with, you know, bought 10 shares and we've got the name in, but they've only got 1 share or something like that. We want to make sure it's correct and everything is ready to go as soon as we launch the paid side of the site. Of course, it will be available while we're testing, but once we transfer it onto the main site, we've got to build the back end. I've been discussing that with Vishal and Devyani today, and I don't think it'll be too complex, even though well, it shouldn't be. I think it's fairly simple in every way, but the most complex part, really, I suppose, is the payment to the shareholders, because we've got to create special wallets for them that we can then probably do an automatic transfer once it gets to a certain amount minimum into your available cash wallet. Because, you know, it'll rack up in fractions of a cent every time somebody plays. Now, once we've got all the shareholders reconciled, we'll know exactly where we stand with the number of shares that have been sold. I've got a very good idea of it now, obviously, because we've got our own records. But as I say, I want to make sure nobody's missing and we've got everything exactly as it should be. And I think we can improve the benefits to the shareholders because we didn't sell all the shares. And of course, when we calculated the dividends that you would be getting on your shares, it was based on us selling all the shares. So we've got a couple of options, really. We can leave the shares open for sale, or we can limit the number, reduce the number that are available, and increase the benefits. And I think I'm leaning towards the second option. Okay, so that is on the Fund Miracles side of things. The Share Hope plan is now completed as far as everything really is done. There are things we can do to it. I mean, there's a little profile image that is just a standard thing that we popped in there. We can add in the fact that you'll be able to upload your own image, and we can do things like that, but they're sort of cosmetic changes. So that is completed, and Vishal will be starting on the development for the best plan ever tomorrow. Once again, we discussed that in detail, Devyani and Vishal and myself, and that is pretty straightforward. It'll be done in 2 parts. Part 1 is the working of the plan. Now, it's important you understand that this plan will have another wallet. We'll be adding another wallet into We Share Abundance, and it'll be the best plan ever wallet, or, you know, because what happens is when somebody gets their Kickstart $5, it goes into that wallet, but we don't want them withdrawing that and spending it, because we want to get that leveraged up to making them a really, really powerful residual monthly income. But they've got to help in doing that, and they need to get that $5 up to $13, up to $12.50 actually, to get them into the Success Blueprint. And to do that, they need to get 8 people that are happy to do the same thing, receive $5 so that they only need 8 people to get that $8 to get to $13 into the Success Blueprint. And things will move very, very quickly for everybody when that starts happening. We will be adding a bonus in for people who go out and get the people that they need within 7 days. And I'm not exactly sure at this moment in time when you will get that bonus. At the moment, I set it or I explained it when we were going through what I needed done in the discussion we had today. I said it getting 8 people in 7 days, which shouldn't be difficult. I mean, all you're doing is giving people a kickstart $5 to get them started in building a huge residual income. $2,000 is really just the beginning, but we're talking about $2,000 because it's something that most people can believe is achievable. You start talking about millions of dollars, people go, oh, they're not, no, I can't do that. And if you're talking about $100, people say, oh, I can't be bothered for $100. $2,000 is a good level to be talking to people about. They think it's realistic, and it's worth it for most people to generate a couple of grand. 2,000 extra into most household budgets makes a big difference to their quality of life. So that is that is why we're pitching it there. However, with the bonus, you don't really need 8 people. So I'm thinking we can perhaps reduce that, but there will be a bonus. So what it means is you've got to go out and get your people fast. Go out and do it all in a week. You shouldn't need more than a week to get 8 people into the best plan ever. It's only like 1 a day, isn't it? Or 1 and a bit a day. So that is where we are with that plan at the moment. We will be starting on the coding tomorrow until we got, until he gets into the coding and starts planning things, then we won't really know how long it's going to take. But it's unlikely to be done this week. We've only got 2 days left. It'll take probably a day to set out the scheme, and then the coding will start, and so the work on the coding. So I'm anticipating that we'll be able to launch it sometime next week. Now, to get that bonus, you guys have got a big advantage, because when we launch, your 7 days is going to start from when we launch. But between the 4th of May and when we launch, you've had the opportunity to refer people. So you could well have 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. I know somebody was on here, can't remember who it was now, said he's already got 40 people. That's great, because when we launch, your 7 days starts from there. So you would immediately kick in that bonus. You would already have those people. Get working, get those people getting their people. They can get that bonus as well. And we'll get people through quickly into the Success Blueprint and qualified in there, and get them into all the other plans, because that's where the money comes from, not from the Success Blueprint, but from that paying you into 5 other plans. One of them is Vibe, which is a third-party plan. The others are our plans. Vibe is probably going to launch about the same time we launch the best plan ever. They're working on it now. They're 3 months later than they intended to be already, but that's the way of the world. People anticipate things and want things done, but the facts are that it takes time to put everything in place and get it right. But I think Vibe will be launching probably next week. And so we'll have people that'll be, you know, if you get everybody that you've referred, getting their people as well, tell them they need to get them now, because then they'll get the bonus straight away. They'll be in the Success Blueprint. They'll get through. The sooner you're into those plans, the sooner you're making money. Just getting into the plan yourself isn't going to make you anything, because you join something and where's the money coming from? You've got to have those people following you through. Once they're following you through, that's when you start making money. And if you've got 8 people following you through and they're getting 8 people each following them through, you know, that is 72 people in your network. Al Chilazo, okay? Right. So there you go. Have I introduced people? I think I did. Yeah, I remember. I think I remember Bazina from Edinburgh. I do, and Kim. We've also got Ron in from Amsterdam. We've got Bazina from Slovenia and Deborah in from Southern Alabama, USA. So that is where we are with that, and it is pretty exciting. It's also very exciting for the Fund Miracles. That, you know, we could be launching that. It's not going to be next week either. Where are we now? Probably very early in June when we get the Fund Miracles launched with the plan. Then you'll be able to play games and make money and generate huge incomes there as well. And of course, the referral plan in there gives you lots of different options for making money. When they join, they also join the best plan ever, because everybody that joins and does their KYC is in the best plan ever. So it's really going to help people move quickly. Now, I also believe that Devyani has uploaded some changes in the Success Blueprint, but I've not even checked it yet. But maybe they are there. Maybe they're what we want. Maybe they're not. I don't know. But she is pretty much done with all the bits and pieces. There are little odds and ends that need doing. One thing that was pointed out was that the link to go to your Sharehope Trust Fund from the dashboard doesn't work. It brings an error up. It's not that important because, well, it is important because you want to be able to see it, but there's nothing much that you can do with that. You can't directly interact with that, that wallet. You can only interact with it through random withdrawals, which we do, and through automated withdrawals, which we also do. And those are based on your rank in the Sharehope Powerline plan. But it is important because people should have access to their account and be able to see it. So that will be fixed. It's not a major thing. I believe also we had an issue where in the login ads, you'd got login ads that you're not using anymore and the delete wasn't working. I believe that's been fixed. I haven't had a chance to check on that at this moment in time. One other thing that was brought up, one of our support team contacted me and said, how do I answer this? And we got somebody that is saying that the links don't work in a third-party system promoting our plan. We can't do anything about that. You know, if you're using Power Lead System, Godavi, Lead Sleep, and any of those plans, there's loads of them where you can build splash pages and things, you know. And we have no control over those splash pages. If you are using a splash page and you're getting the wrong links, there's nothing we can do about that. That's to do with you and that third party that provides that service for you. We can only, do things, like if you say, I send somebody my link, we can check the link and check that it's correct and check that it's working correctly. But if you say, my link's not coming up correctly on this third-party plan, there's nothing we can do about that. So unfortunately, you have to, if you're using a third-party plan, and some of them are very, very good, don't get me wrong, I use PLS I've used for a long, long time, and it's a very good system. I am trying to learn a little bit about Leads Leap because a lot of our members use Leads Leap, but I don't have a lot of time to learn, so I don't really use it at the moment. But it is very popular. But you've got to take on the responsibility for the links that you are promoting through a page. You set it up in that third-party plan. Nothing we can do about it. Okay, so that is. That is something that, as I say, one of our support team asks, what do I do with this? And there's nothing we can do with it. We can't assist with a third-party plan. We have no access to it. You have the access. Okay. What else have we got? I think that pretty much covers the updates, and I can't see any questions that have come in. So we can give some money away. Let me do a screen share to where we're going to. We're going to be going to random.org. Share screen. Come on. Okay, let's see if that's coming up as it should. Yep, it's there now. So we have number 2 to 2643 in the spreadsheet. Each number represents a member that is an Active Elite member. When I click the generate button, random.org will generate a number. It could be 2, could be 2643, it could be any number in between. It does it totally randomly, and then we'll give that person some money. We'll give them a random withdrawal. So here we go. And the number today is 841. And I'm going to put that in the spreadsheet. 841. And now we can stop sharing that, and we can go to the screen share again and share the spreadsheet. And let me check that that's come up for you. Yep, looks like it's there. I've lost it again now though. Here we go. So it's 841. So let's see who that is, who's going to get some money and how much they're going to get. 841. Okay. We go back up the top. Paste that in. I usually delete these, but I didn't have time today, so there we go. It's going to be a $60 because he's an Active Elite in the 777 plan. So that's going to be just $60. And Falcon 192 is again, I've got a feeling that is a gentleman from South Africa. Been a member a while and referred quite a lot of people, and he's getting the benefit for it now. So Bertus B looks like a South African name as well. So I think I'm probably right. So they're both going to get $60 from as a random withdrawal. And we'll get that paid as quickly as we can. We save that sheet so that I don't lose the information. Okay, let's come back here. We can stop sharing and see if we've got anything else to do. We've got people saying congratulations, and that's as much as we've got. And so that is everything done for today, folks. No questions there. One thing, I will check on this, but this was another thing that was brought up in the support ticket. They asked me, and I believe I'm correct. So I told them to put in, I believe. The commissions are all allocated on the 27th. You may see them in your list of commissions, but they won't actually hit your wallet as available commissions until we run the matrix on the 27th, and it does all the stuff in the background. I'll check on that tomorrow to make sure that I am correct on that. But as far as I'm aware, from memory, that is the way it's set up. So it'll all happen magically at, I think we set it for 12:30 London time, PM. So that early afternoon on the 27th, which is 6 days away. We will be running that matrix, and all the commissions for everything should appear at that time. Okay, so thanks for being here. Thanks for being We Share Abundance. You are We Share Abundance. Without you, it doesn't exist. Okay, I'll be here same time, same place tomorrow, 7 p.m. London time, here in our link, streaming on YouTube and in Facebook. Until then, God bless, share your link, give people a reason to click it, get your people, get that bonus qualified for, and get your people to qualify for that bonus. They've probably got a week left yet now before we launch. They can get that bonus day one. It really, I mean, if you really want it, you can go out and get 8 people in a day, but you've got a lot more than that now. Okay, so God bless you all, and hopefully see you all tomorrow. So that is it. How do we go? Okay, bye.